I wanted to talk a little bit about something which is sort of like the intersection of what I call music and corporate America. I work in corporate America, and what I do primarily entails working with a lot of brands, and there's always this talk about data and analytics versus, human emotions. So every time I go to a seminar, there's someone that's talking about the consumer journey and how we can understand the voice of the consumer by figuring out what he or she buys, how they buy it, whether they be start searching online, then use social media, then go in store and purchasing that. So the whole idea behind this is that marketing is a science, and if we can figure out why people do something, then we can figure out how to market to them. So in here lies what I call the dilemma. The dilemma is that although we as marketers talk a lot about data and analytics, the reality is that a lot of people buy on emotion. I believe that the reason why we don't talk about emotional buying behavior as much as we talk about, what's in your basket, why did you buy that, is because we can't quantify it. It's easier to say that I was on this website, I then went to this social media, page. I then went and wrote a review. I then read a review. Then I then went to the store, or I went to Walmart.com and made a purchase. So that's very easy and it's quantifiable. What happens is that really doesn't measure human behavior. Most people buy on impulse. As a guitar player, trust me when I say this. So why do guitar players, once you've been playing for a while, have 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 guitars, you name it? The reason is it looks good. It sounds good. There is really no data or analytics that's going to tell you why that occurs. So similarly, musicians who tend to focus on music theory versus the sound or the emotional aspect of playing music, they fall short. No one ever listens to music because that guitarist resolved that 2-5-1 progression with a major scale, or they superimpose like a Locrian mode over something. That is not why we listen to music. We listen to music based upon the emotion, how it makes you feel. This is not to say that there's not a place for music theory, and or that there's not a place for data and analytics and marketing. What it is to say is that the real reason why human beings do things is the emotional feeling that it impacts on us. If it makes you feel good, then you want to have it. It's simple, but it's true. If you're a great guitar player, you might want to know what he or she's doing, but you don't really care about the mode, the scale, the degree, the substitution, or anything of that nature. Those are great things to know, don't get me wrong. Just like as a data scientist and as a marketer, it's great to know the basket size. It's great to know the analytics, to know where that person has been in order to, buy something. But at the end of the day, the controlling thing about marketing and the controlling thing about music is how it makes you feel.